Hey guys, Darren here. Welcome to Mayhem Country Living. Tonight, this evening, we are going to do a video. We are going to be processing chili, and we are going to be pressure canning it, more specifically. This is a video that I made for a buddy of mine, Hamish McKay, who is in Australia, and someone showed me how to do this recently, who is Kevin Lee May. Now, you'll find this interesting, I did anyway, that someone from the northeastern United States showed me someone who lives in the deep southern United States, who in turn showed someone how to do something that lived in another country, Australia specifically. This is how a prepping network works. So, more to come. Okay guys, now we are doing a pressure canning. We will use a pressure canner for that, obviously, and this is going to be low acid. It's also going to have meat in it, so we're going to be pressure canning for my altitude, which is a little bit above sea level. So I'm going to do 10, probably 11 pounds, and we'll get into that. Hamish is looking to do this and has not done it before, and I've just gotten into doing it. So it's easy. If I can do it, anybody can do it. You need the pressure canner. This locks with the lid. There's the hooch. And it holds the pressure in and allows it to get to a higher temperature to kill any botulism. I've got some jars in there that are heating up, and I'm rotating them to get them boiling. We're going to pull them out. This is the chili that we're about to pressure can, and then we have our lids that we're going to immerse in the boiling water to clean and sterilize, and these are some more jars that are going to be ready to go. Okay guys, now we're back. This is for any type of leftovers that you have, beef stew, anything like that. You can do meat, chicken, pork, beef. There's different ways to process it, different times to process it. I use the USDA recommended times, and I haven't had any problems yet. I believe Kevin Lee May actually recommended me to go to that. He gave me the recipe, and it was the same damn thing that was on the USDA. We'll take a look at that in just a second. We got a couple. Okay guys, now we're back, and I'll show you. It is through the USDA publications, the National Center for Home Food Preservation. That gives you all the information you need on to water bath canning, pressure canning, high acid, low acid, meats, vegetables, stuff like that, and it's a really good resource. I have printed all of this off, which is about 80 or 90 pages at one point, and I just kind of stuck it away in a folder, but here it is, nchfp.uga.edu. More to come. Okay guys, now we're back, and it looks like we're going to do 90 minutes at 10 pounds of pressure for quart-sized jars. So, let's get in. Okay guys, now we're back. That water is boiling. The chili is hot. It's going to be a hot canning. I am going to take a little bit of vinegar and pour it in here so we don't have any kind of hard water buildup on the jars, just to make them look prettier. But first I'm going to pull those jars out, because those are going to be very, very, very hot. And if you're going to be doing this, you'll need to be buying some of the tools. So, okay guys, now we have added a splash of vinegar in there, and you can see these things are hot. Pull these out. These are very, very hot, and we pull them out with the tongs. There we go. Now, more to come. Okay guys, now we're back, and you can see the water is still boiling. I had enough for 2 quarts, and a pint jar almost. Now I know people would say, well, why would you do this? Why don't you just freeze it? Well, you absolutely can. You can absolutely freeze it. Stick it in your freezer and it will be good for a very, very long time, but you run out of room in your freezer eventually, and what happens when your power goes out? Well, this will be shelf stable for a year or so, and I guarantee you it will get eaten a lot faster this way. Now, these pint jars are actually one good bowl. These will be almost 2 bowls, so 2 people, 1 serving each. You know, 1 person, 1 serving. That's kind of why I did it that way. Now, we're going to heat up our lids in the boiling water and put them on. We're going to wipe these lids off the rings here with a little bit of vinegar and water on a paper towel, because we have meat, and that way it'll take off any oils, help these rings seal nicely. Okay guys, now we're back. Magnetic holder. That. There we go. The ring. And it's hot. Finger tight. That's it. Now, these are quarts. That's a pint. 90 minutes. These would be normally like 70 minutes if you just had a bunch of these. But because you got the quart jars, we're going to go with the longer time. Won't hurt it. So we're going to do everything at 90 minutes at 10 pounds of pressure. So we will take these guys. Hang on, I'll spin you around. I could do this on the tripod, but I'm trying to just show you. Ooh, be careful. 1, 2, 3. Had about 3 inches of water in there, and you can see it's kind of risen a little bit. And you do have the vinegar solution in there just to keep the jars looking nice. And look at it this way, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 meals that are healthy, that you know what went in there. So we're going to put the lid on this right there, and then we'll talk about it more time. Okay guys, we have the lid on, and we're going to lock it into place. It has a rubber ring around it that seals it. That's an emergency pressure relief. That is just like the standard pressure relief. It lets you know it'll pop up shortly. This right here is where we're going to put our weight on, and that is the gauge. This is an old pressure cooker. This is a Presto, I want to say. Yeah, 7 quart. This thing's probably 40 or 50 years old. I found it in a storage building, and the gasket and the weight were missing, and I bought replacement gaskets and a replacement weight, and had the gauge checked out by my county extension officer a year ago, and it works fantastic. This is not the Cadillac. The Cadillac is the All-American pressure canner, which they are wonderful, but they are quite expensive. I could get one, but I really can't justify that. I would say before I buy a All-American canner, I'll buy another one of these so I can can 14 quarts at a time. That's just me. These things new are about 70 bucks off Amazon, and that's not too bad. Now, you want to let this thing sit for about 10 minutes with a good steady supply of steam coming out of it. More to come. Okay guys, we're just letting this build up a nice head of pressure. I turned the temperature down to like a medium high. This little valve has popped up. Everything is going good. I've got the timer set. We're going to let it sit just like this for 10 minutes. It's boiling pretty good, and then we'll put the weight on here and we'll watch this gauge climb and climb and climb. There are a lot of other videos out there that'll get a lot more in-depth. This is just something I'm doing quickly for our leftovers so they don't go to waste. Like I said, 5 free meals in here that we have that are shelf stable now. Alright guys, the timer is counting down to 6 seconds, and I'm going to take the weight and put it on. Be careful, because that is hot. There we go. Now, we're going to let it begin to build up pressure. This is going to stay up, and this will possibly do a rocking motion and or kind of start spinning. It'll have like a little rhythmic hiss to it. And let this thing build up pressure, and you can see it's starting to come up now. It's up to like 2. We're going to watch our temperature. Worst comes to worst, it might go up to 15 pounds of pressure. Really don't want it there. We want it around above 10, maybe 11. But we will see what we can do with it. More to come. Okay guys, now we're back and I'll show you. It's climbing up. It's almost to 5 pounds of pressure. And one of the things I like to do while this thing is coming up, you obviously want to hang around in the kitchen to where you can hear it and see it. And so I make a point of going ahead and washing and cleaning up everything. That way I don't leave a problem for my wife. She's kind of gimped up at the moment, and so I've been doing all of our canning and preserving these past couple of weekends, just because she's had surgery on her right hand. Really isn't supposed to be lifting anything. So it keeps everybody happy if you clean up your own messes. And remember, periodically while you're doing this, wash your hands, you dirty monkeys. There she is right there.
Your what?
I said wash their hands periodically in between. She's on pain medication. It's okay, guys.
They don't know what monkeys are. Yeah.
Just stop. Just stop. God bless her.
You show them the cake?
At least she's pretty. No, I did not. This is my birthday cake.
Well, the chickens were on
with
top.
Chickens. And the birthday cake. And that's the fence and the grass. And then there were chickens on top of my birthday cake. How about that? Look at it. Ain't she pretty? More to come. Okay guys, now we are at 11 pounds of pressure. So we're going to turn this down a little bit, try to find a happy medium, and it will probably go up to like 13 or 14 and then go back down and settle around 10. This is kind of the tweaking that I have to do, and you learn this with time. That's the only thing I can figure out. I can do 7 quarts in probably 2 hours, which is pretty good for me, and that's letting it cool off enough to where I can open it and not cause a problem with the jars inside. So it is a learning process. More to come. Now we're going to set the time. Alright guys, we are almost finished. 2 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and cut that off, and it will start the process. You can see that we are a little over 10 pounds, and that is it. I may do some pictures of them in the morning, so you can take a look at them and then we'll post them. So just to recap, someone from the northeastern United States showed me how to do this in the southern United States, and I made this video to show someone how to make it in Australia. How about that? That is a prepping network. Anyway guys, in just a second you're going to see a picture of my ugly mug pop up over here on this side, as well as my beautiful wife on the opposite side. It's going to be some videos if we're indeed your brand of wacky. Guys, take care of you people.